Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. Friends, first of all, I am really very sorry I was unable to upload video lectures from last 3-4 days because I was very sick. Now also I am not fully recovered, but now I am feeling better. So now I am providing you the video lecture. And friends, from now onwards I will try my best to provide you the video lectures regularly. So friends, in the last class we were discussing about the sessions of parliament. Okay, and I have taught you that there are two types of sessions of parliament. The first type of session is known as the regular session of the parliament, and the second type of session is known as the special session of the parliament. I have also taught you the definition and meaning of regular session and special session in a very detailed manner. After that, I have taught you that there are three regular sessions. The first regular session is known as the budget session. So budget session is the first session of the year. After budget session, then comes monsoon session, and after monsoon session, the last regular session of the year is called as winter session. So friends, in this class, we will continue our discussion further and I will teach you about some more concepts. So the first topic of today's class is adjournment. Okay, so in this class, first of all, I will teach you about that what is the meaning of adjournment. So friends, let's begin. So friends, for explaining you the meaning of adjournment, I will take the help of one example, and based on that example I will explain you that what is the meaning of adjournment. So friends, in the last class I have taught you that there are three regular sessions of the parliament: budget session, monsoon session and winter session. So let's suppose that the monsoon session of the parliament is going on. So I have taught you that monsoon session begins in the month of July, okay, and it ends in the month of August. So monsoon session begins in the month of July and it ends in the month of August. So let's suppose that the first meeting of monsoon session is conducted on 10th of July. Okay, so we are just taking an hypothetical example. So let us imagine that the monsoon session has begun on 10th of July, means the first meeting is conducted on 10th of July. Now definitely what will happen on first meeting? Okay, so definitely let's suppose that this is Lok Sabha and this is Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now in this, okay, so here I am taking the example of Lok Sabha for making you understand. So what will happen, that all the members of Lok Sabha will come, okay, all the members of Lok Sabha will come and they will meet. Okay, so what will happen on 10th July means on the first meeting of monsoon session that all the members of Lok Sabha will come, okay, and they all will meet. Similarly in Rajya Sabha also all the members of Rajya Sabha will come, okay, they all will come and they all will also meet. Okay, now definitely when all the members of Lok Sabha will meet and when all the members of Rajya Sabha will meet on 10th of July, so they will discuss on some issues. Okay, and definitely as the session has just started, okay, so this is the first meeting of the session, so they will discuss on the issues like that what should be the objectives of this session, okay, what works, what tasks we have to perform in this session. Okay, so what will happen on 10th of July means on the first meeting of the monsoon session, all the members of Lok Sabha will come and they will meet, all the members of Rajya Sabha will come and they will also meet and they will discuss on some issue. Okay, now let's suppose, okay, let's suppose that they have discussed on some issues. Okay, now let's suppose that they have discussed on many issues and after that the presiding officer of the house, for example, the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha is the speaker of Lok Sabha and the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So what happened, that the presiding officer of the house has announced that now we will take a short break. Okay, so the presiding officer of the house has announced that now we will take a short break and now we will meet on 12th of July. Okay, so what has happened that after meeting they have discussed on many issues, and after that what happened that after discussing on many issues, the presiding officer of the house has announced that now we are taking a short break. Okay, and we will meet after short break, and now we will meet on 12th of July. Friends, here word short break is very important. Why? Because actually this short break is known as adjournment. So actually the presiding officer of the house announces that the house is adjourned, and he will announce that the house is adjourned till 12th of July. Means now the house will meet on 12th of July. So what is the meaning of adjournment? So the very basic meaning of adjournment is the short break. Okay, so adjournment means a short break or recess. Okay, or we can also say, okay, so adjournment means a short break or recess within a session of parliament. Okay, so the monsoon session is going on. So I have given you an example that the monsoon session is going on. Okay, and the monsoon session has started on 10th of July. Means on 10th of July, the first meeting of monsoon session was conducted. And what happened? That both the houses of parliament met, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. All the members of Lok Sabha meet and all the members of Rajya Sabha meet separately. Okay, and what happened that they discussed on many issues. For example, this is the first meeting, so they may discuss on the objectives of this session. Friends, here there is a difference between word meeting and session. Okay, so there is a difference between word meeting and session, and in the last class also I have made it very clear that a session comprises of many meetings. Okay, so a session can comprise of 10 meetings, 20 meetings, or even more than that. So a session means a series of meetings. Session means a series of meetings which are conducted for doing some tasks. Okay, so there is a difference between session and meeting. So a session actually comprises of many meetings. So what has happened that on the 10th of July, the first meeting of monsoon session was conducted, and what happened that the members of Lok Sabha and members of Rajya Sabha met separately and they discussed on many issues. And after they have discussed on many issues, so what happened that the presiding officer of the house has announced that now the house is adjourned and now we will meet on 12th of July. So adjournment means that the presiding officer has announced that now we will take a short break. Okay, for example, we are taking a break of 1 day, we are taking a break of 2 days, we are taking break of 3 days. Okay, so what happens that presiding officer of the house has announced that the house is adjourned. So the house is adjourned means that now we are taking a short break and now the house will meet after a short break. Okay, for example, here the presiding officer of the house has announced that the house will meet on 12th of July. So they have taken a gap of clearly 1 day. So now house will meet after 1 day. So what is the meaning of adjournment? So adjournment means a short break within a session. Now friends, here you have to pay your attention. You have to remember 2-3 things so that you do not get confused. Okay, so now I am telling you 2 important things and you have to keep these things in your mind. So the first thing is, okay, or the first question which we have is that who declares. Okay, so the question is that who declares that the house is adjourned? Who declares the adjournment of the house? So definitely I have just told you that it is the presiding officer of the house. Okay, so it is the presiding officer of the house who declares that the house is adjourned. Now presiding officer means the boss of the house. Okay, for example, if we are talking about Lok Sabha, so in the case of Lok Sabha, what happens that generally the speaker of Lok Sabha acts as the presiding officer of the house. Okay, so speaker of the Lok Sabha acts as the presiding officer of the house. So in the case of Lok Sabha, speaker will announce that the house is adjourned for the day and now we will meet on this date. Similarly, if we are talking about Rajya Sabha, then in the case of Rajya Sabha, I have told you that the chairman of Rajya Sabha, okay, I have told you that the chairman of Rajya Sabha is the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha, and definitely vice president of India is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. Means Vice President of India becomes the chairman of Rajya Sabha, and chairman of Rajya Sabha acts as the presiding officer of Rajya Sabha. Okay, means he is the boss of Rajya Sabha. He presides over the meetings of Rajya Sabha. He chairs the meetings of Rajya Sabha. So the chairman of Rajya Sabha will declare that the house is adjourned. Okay, so the basic thumb rule is that the presiding officer declare that the house is adjourned. Now friends, there is one very important question. Okay, so this I have told you earlier also. Now the thing is that let's suppose if the speaker is absent. Okay, so let's suppose that due to any reason, for example, if the speaker of Lok Sabha is ill, he cannot preside over the meetings of Lok Sabha due to bad health. So now in this case, who will preside over the meetings of Lok Sabha? So definitely in this case, the deputy speaker of Lok Sabha. Okay, in this case, the deputy speaker of Lok Sabha will preside over the meetings of Lok Sabha, and definitely when the deputy speaker is acting as the presiding officer of Lok Sabha, so in this case what will happen, that deputy speaker will adjourn the house, means deputy speaker will announce that now the house is adjourned. Okay, so it is the right, it is the function, it is the work of the presiding officer that he will announce that the house is adjourned. Similarly, if we are if talking about Rajya Sabha, so if the chairman of Rajya Sabha is absent, then definitely the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, okay, oh I'm sorry, definitely, okay, so it's right, deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so what happens that if the chairman of Rajya Sabha is absent, okay, for example, let's suppose if the chairman of Rajya Sabha is ill, okay, or let's suppose he has gone on any vacation, okay, so he is on holiday. So in this case what will happen, that the deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha will act as the presiding officer of the house. So if deputy chairman is acting as the presiding officer, then he will declare the adjournment of the house. Okay, so the thumb rule, what is the thumb rule? The thumb rule is that the presiding officer will announce the adjournment of the house. Okay, so whosoever will sit as the presiding officer, that person will announce that the house is adjourned. Now friends, after this you have to remember the second important thing. So what is that second important thing? So the second thing is that if a session of the parliament is going on, for example, here I have taken the example of monsoon session. So if the adjournment of the house is announced, if the adjournment of the house is announced, then the session does not ends. Okay, so what happens, that adjournment, okay, what happens, that adjournment does not bring the very session of the parliament to an end. Now what does it mean? So for example, I have told you that the first meeting of monsoon session was conducted on 10th of July. Okay, and let us take the example of Lok Sabha, and the speaker of Lok Sabha, means the presiding officer of Lok Sabha, has announced that now the house is adjourned and now we will meet on 12th of July. Okay, so adjournment does not means that the session has ended. Okay, it is just a short break. Okay, it is just a short break. It is not the end of the session. Okay, so it is not the end of the session. It only means a short break. Why? Because here they are only taking the break of 11th of July. They are only taking a break of one day. The session has not come to an end. Okay, the date for next meeting has already been announced. So the first meeting will end on 10th of July with the adjournment. Okay, and with the adjournment, the presiding officer will also announce the date for next meeting. For example, here the date for second meeting is 12th of July. Okay, so with the adjournment of the house, the session will not come to an end. It will not end the session, but the first meeting will end. And with adjournment, presiding officer will also announce the date for next meeting. Okay, so then on the next day, for example on 12th of July, house will meet again. Okay, they will discuss on many issues, and then in the end what will happen, that the presiding officer will announce that now the house is adjourned, and let's suppose now we will meet on 15th of July. So here with the adjournment, second meeting will come to end, and they will announce the date for third meeting, but the session will not come to an end. So if the question is asked in prelims exam that whether the adjournment brings the session of parliament to an end or not, so you have to mark it not. Okay, so definitely question will not be asked in a straightforward manner. They will twist the question and they can ask the question in n number of ways. But you have to remember this concept that the adjournment does not bring the session to an end. Adjournment does not end the session. Okay, but it what happens that it is just a short break within the session. Now friends, after this we have one another concept. So the next concept is adjournment sine die. Now what is the meaning of adjournment sine die? So definitely I will give one example and we will take help from our previous example, and based on that example I will try to explain you the meaning of adjournment sine die. So I have told you that the first meeting was conducted on 10th of July. Okay, and what happened that after the meeting the presiding officer of the house has announced that the house is adjourned and now we will meet on 12th of July. Okay, and what happened on 12th of July, that house was met again. Okay, so here we are taking the example of Lok Sabha. Okay, and the procedure is same for both the houses. So what will happen, what happened that on 12th of July house has met again. Okay, and they have discussed on many issues, and after that in the end the presiding officer of the house has announced that the house is adjourned and now we will meet on 15th of July. So what will happen that now the members of the house will meet on 15th of July. So are you noticing that what is happening here? There is one thing common in all these things, and that thing is that with the adjournment of the house, the presiding officer is also announcing the date for next meeting. For example, when the house was adjourned on 10th of July, so the presiding officer has announced that now we will meet on 12th of July. When house was adjourned on 12th of July, so presiding officer has announced that now we will meet on 15th of July. So what happens that with adjournment of the house, presiding officer also announces that now on this particular date we will meet. Okay, so this is a normal procedure. Now friends, let's suppose that when the presiding officer has adjourned the house on 15th of July. Okay, so let's suppose on 15th of July all the members of the house met and they have discussed on many issues. Okay, and after that what happened that the presiding officer of the house has adjourned the house. But this time what happened that he has not declared any date for the next meeting. Okay, so he has not declared any date for the next meeting, that when the house will meet again. Okay, now what has happened here? So here we will say that the house is adjourned for an indefinite period of time. Okay, so what we will say here? So we can say here that the house is actually adjourned for the indefinite period of time. Okay, so actually here nobody knows that when the next meeting will be conducted. So what has happened on 15th of July, that the presiding officer of the house has announced that the house is adjourned, but he has not announced the date for next meeting. Means now nobody knows that when we have to meet again. Means the house has adjourned for indefinite period of time. So this is known as adjournment sine die. So this is known as what? Adjournment sine die. So what is the meaning of adjournment sine die? So adjournment sine die means if the house is adjourned for an indefinite period without fixing the date for next meeting. So this is known as adjournment sine die. Okay, so adjournment sine die means when house is adjourned for an indefinite period without fixing the date for next meeting. So now nobody knows that when we have to meet again. So this is known as adjournment sine die. Now friends, after adjournment, the next concept is the prorogation of the Houses of Parliament. So what is the meaning of prorogation? Okay, what is prorogation? So we have many questions regarding prorogation. So first of all, first of all, we have the question that who prorogates the houses of parliament. Okay, don't worry, I will also tell you about the meaning of prorogation. Okay, so we will take it one by one. So first of all, the question is that who prorogates the houses of parliament. So the answer to this question is that the President of India, okay, President of India prorogates the houses of parliament on the advice of Union Council of Ministers. Okay, so what happens that the Union Council of Ministers gives advice to the President of India. Okay, so it gives advice to the President of India for prorogating the houses of parliament, and then President prorogates the houses of parliament. Okay, but now the question is, okay, now we know that President prorogates the houses of parliament on the advice of Council of Ministers, but the question is, what is the meaning of prorogation? What is this prorogation? So now let us discuss about the meaning of the prorogation. So friends, here also we will take help from our previous example, and based on that example I will explain you the meaning of prorogation. So in our example we were talking about the monsoon session, and I have told you that monsoon session was started on 10th of July. Okay, and then it was adjourned, and then the second meeting was conducted on 12th of July, then it was adjourned again. Okay, and in this way what happens that in the monsoon sessions many meetings were conducted. So let's suppose the next meeting was conducted on 15, then on 16, okay, let's suppose then on 19, then on 20. Okay, so in this way the monsoon session, many meetings of monsoon session was conducted, and it went up to August. Okay, so let's suppose on 1st of August one meeting was conducted, then on 3rd of August, after that on 5th of August another meeting was conducted, and in this way what happened that a series of meetings, I have told you that session means a series of meetings. So what happened in monsoon session that a series of meetings was conducted. Okay, now friends, then comes a date. Let's suppose 17th of August. Okay, so let's suppose then comes a date 17th of August, or let's suppose 10th of August. Okay, so let's suppose then comes 10th of August. Now on 10th of August houses met again, but friends, this was the last meeting. Okay, this was the last meeting of the monsoon session. Now what happened? So what happened actually that Council of Ministers, okay, Council of Ministers gave advice to the President of India that now on 10th of August you have to prorogate this monsoon session of the parliament. Listen to my words again and listen it carefully. Council of Ministers gave advice to the President of India that on 10th of August, okay, on 10th of August, on 10th of August, prorogate the monsoon session of the parliament. Now what does it mean? So it means that on 10th of August, President will prorogate the session of parliament, and prorogation of the session means the session will come to an end. Okay, so prorogation means the session will come to an end. So if President has prorogated the monsoon session of the parliament, then it means that the monsoon session has come to an end. Okay, so prorogation means the end of session. Okay, so you have to remember two concepts. Adjournment means the short break. Adjournment does not means the end of the session, but prorogation means the end of the session. So once the President of India has prorogated the houses of parliament which were in monsoon session, so what will happen that the monsoon session will come to an end. So let's suppose that if President of India has prorogated the houses of parliament on 10th of August, okay, President of India has prorogated the houses of parliament which were, okay, means houses of parliament means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So if President of India has prorogated the houses of parliament which were in monsoon session on 10th of August, so what will happen? On 10th of August only the monsoon session will come to an end. Monsoon session will be completed. Monsoon session will be finished. So we will say that on 10th of August the last meeting of the monsoon session was conducted, and President of India has prorogated the monsoon session of the parliament. Okay, so the concept is very simple. Prorogation means when the session of parliament has come to an end. So with this, the monsoon session has now finished. With this, the monsoon session has now come to an end. Now friends, after prorogation, okay, so with prorogation, the session will come to an end. Okay, so it means that now the houses of parliament will not meet again. Okay, so they were meeting regularly in the monsoon session, but once the monsoon session is prorogated, means the monsoon session has come to an end, so now they will not meet. So now the question is that when they will meet again. Okay, so here the question is that when the houses of parliament can meet again. So the answer to this question is that once the houses of parliament are prorogated, then they can meet again only if they are summoned. Okay, so they can meet again only if they are summoned by the President of India. So if President of India will summon the houses again, so houses can meet again. Now what does it mean? So I am explaining it to you in a better way. For example, what happened that on 10th of August, what happened that President of India has prorogated both the houses of parliament which were in the monsoon session. Okay, so houses are prorogated means the session has come to an end, and once the session is ended on 10th of August, so now the houses cannot meet. Okay, so once the session has completed, so now the houses cannot meet. Okay, but now let's suppose that what happens that definitely I have told you that after monsoon session then comes the winter session, and the winter session is conducted in the months of November and December. Okay, so let's suppose that the first meeting, let's suppose the winter session is to be started on 10th of November. Okay, so winter session is to be started on 10th of November. So what will happen that the President of India, okay, so what will happen that Council of Ministers will give advice to the President of India to summon the sessions of Parliament for winter session. Then President, based on the advice of Council of Ministers, will summon both the houses of Parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Okay, that from 10th of November, winter session will be started and you have to meet in the winter session. So what will happen on 10th of November? That the houses of parliament will meet again. Okay, so all the members of Lok Sabha will meet again, all the members of Rajya Sabha will meet again, and again they will do their work in the winter session. So the summary of this story is that once the houses are prorogated, then the members of house cannot meet. But okay, members of house cannot meet means the house cannot meet in the official capacity. Okay, but they can again meet if the houses are again summoned by the President of India. For example, if the house was prorogated on 10th of August, okay, means the houses were in the monsoon session and the house was prorogated on 10th of August. Okay, so now the houses will not meet after 10th of August, but now the President of India has again summoned both the houses of parliament for winter session on 10th of November. So again from 10th of November houses will start to meet and now they will be in winter session. Okay, so what happens that once the houses are prorogated, so houses do not meet after that, and houses meet when they are again summoned. So after prorogation, houses of parliament will meet when they are again summoned for meeting by the President of India. So this is the general procedure. Now friends, here there is one more important thing which you have to understand and you have to remember. Okay, and definitely question can also be asked from this portion also. So what happens that okay, so we were discussing about the monsoon session. Okay, so we have taken the example of monsoon session and I have told you that the monsoon session was started on 10th of July. Okay, and many meetings were conducted and after that finally it was prorogated on 10th of August. And now I think you are very comfortable with these words prorogation as well as adjournment. So adjournment means a short break and prorogation means when the session comes to an end. Okay, so the house was prorogated on 10th of August. Both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both were prorogated on 10th of August. Now let's suppose in this period of time, House was met many number of times. Both the houses met many number of times. So let's suppose if there is a bill, okay, if there is a bill which is, let's suppose, either pending in Lok Sabha or it is either pending in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so we are taking one example. So let's suppose there is a bill. Okay, there is a ordinary bill. Okay, so let's suppose that there is a ordinary bill. Okay, and that ordinary bill was passed by Lok Sabha and it was sent to Rajya Sabha. Okay, and the bill was pending in Rajya Sabha, and meanwhile what happened, that President of India has prorogated the monsoon session of the parliament. Okay, so what happened, that President of India has prorogated Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, which were in the monsoon session, and a ordinary bill was pending in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so now what will happen to that ordinary bill? Okay, so the question is that what will happen to that ordinary bill? So the answer to this question is that the bill will not lapse. Okay, so the bill will not lapse. So what will happen to that bill? So when the houses will meet again in winter session, when the houses will meet again in winter session, or if they are called for any special session, then this bill, this ordinary bill will be taken for passage in Rajya Sabha. Okay, so this ordinary bill will be discussed in Rajya Sabha, then voting will be conducted on this ordinary bill in Rajya Sabha in winter session or in any other special session. So what I want to teach you, what I want to tell you, that if the houses of parliament are prorogated, if Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are prorogated, then any business, any task, any bill, okay, it can be any bill. I have here taken the example of ordinary bill. It can be any bill. Okay, so any business, any task, any bill will not lapse. It will be not lapsed. Okay, but and the houses will continue to work on that task, work on that bill when they will meet again in the next session. So you have to remember that when the houses of parliament are prorogated, then any bill, any task or any business will not lapse. Okay, it will not lapse. And what will happen, that that houses will meet again. So they will continue to do work with that bill or with that business. But friends, here you have to remember one more thing, that the process of the removal, okay, the process of removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, it must be completed. Okay, it must be completed. It must be passed by both the houses of parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So the process of removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges must be passed by both the houses of parliament, and it must be sent for the assent of president before the prorogation of the houses. Okay, so if the process of removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, okay, so the process of removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, if it is not passed by both the houses of parliament, okay, or let's suppose it is passed by Lok Sabha and it is pending in Rajya Sabha, or it is passed by Rajya Sabha and it is pending in Lok Sabha. So we can take any of the case. In the first case, we are assuming that it is passed by Lok Sabha and it is pending in Lok Sabha, it is pending in Rajya Sabha. In the second case, we are assuming that it is passed by Rajya Sabha and it is pending in Lok Sabha. Okay, one more case we can make, that it is pending in Lok Sabha itself. Okay, or fourth case we can also make that it is pending in Rajya Sabha itself. Okay, so if the process of removal of Supreme Court or High Court judges is pending in the either house of the parliament, if the process of the removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges is pending in either house of the parliament, and president declares the prorogation of the houses, then what will happen, that the entire process will be lapsed. The entire process will be lapsed. Okay, so what happens, that the process of the removal of Supreme Court or High Court judges must be passed by both the houses of parliament, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, and it must be sent to the assent of president. It must be sent for the assent of president. Okay, so if it is passed by both the houses of parliament and it is sent for the assent of president, then if the president of India declares the prorogation of the houses, then also the process will not be lapsed. Okay, so and finally when president will give his signature, president will give his assent, then the judge will be removed. Okay, so you have to keep this thing in mind that if the process of removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, the process of removal of Supreme Court or High Court judges must be completed and sent for the approval of president within the same session. For example, if the process of removal of judge, okay, judge means a Supreme Court judge or High Court judge, if it is started in, let's suppose, monsoon session, then it must be completed within monsoon session and sent for the assent of president. And if it is not passed by both the houses of parliament in the same session, then what will happen? That the process will be lapsed. And then in the next session, the process has to be started from the beginning. Okay. So to prevent this, what should happen? That the process of the removal of Supreme Court or High Court judges must be passed by both the houses of parliament. It must be completed within the same session and it must be sent for the assent of the president. Okay, so if it is sent for the assent of the president, then if president of India declares the prorogation of the houses, then also the process will not be lapsed. Then president will give his signature and the judge will be removed. So friends, this was all about the adjournment and prorogation of the houses of parliament. So friends, I hope that you all must have enjoyed the lecture, and if you have enjoyed the lecture, then please like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press bell icon and select all, and share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC or any other state PSC. Friends, the notes of some previous lectures are pending, so I will upload them as soon as possible and I will notify you via community post. So stay tuned, I will notify you and then you will be able to download all the notes, including the notes of this lecture. Okay, so as soon as possible, I will try to upload the notes of previous lectures as well as this lecture and I will notify you via community tab. So friends, at last, take care of yourself, stay healthy. Thank you.